Welcome to Red Eye. I'm TV's Andy Levy, filling in for Greg Gutfeld. Let's go to former CIA operative Mike Baker and current president of Diligence for our pregame report. Diligence, beyond the borders, above the law, doing things that make even the CIA go ew since December 2000. Mike, I understand you're sitting somewhere in an unidentified bunker located at the bottom of the Fox News building on 6th and 48th.
Ew. That's right, it is, and that's what we do. I am, and thanks, Andy, and nice job keeping that bunker location secret. You ought to work for the White House at some point in your life. Hey, tonight's show is jam-packed with stuff that, frankly, we're not sure you should have access to. We're going to put President Obama's past weed smoking experiences under the microscope. And then we're going to look at how skinny people actually seek each other out. And finally, we're going to ask why hen parties are pissing off some gay folks. All that and more on tonight's episode of So You Think You Can Dance. Andy?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. It's Red Eye.
Whatever. My sheets of paper don't even have anything on them.
Yeah. All right. Well, you maybe make a chart about it later. Okay. Let's welcome our guests. Well, she's hot, hilarious, and hep-free. Three things I look for in a woman. It's comedian Nikki Glazer. And back, not by popular demand, but because he owes me money, it's Greg Gutfeld, author and co-host of The Five, which airs weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Fox News Channel. Bill Schultz. In Vermont, he's considered a pancake. And he's clever, witty, and probably wanted for murder in 34 states. Sitting right next to me is comedian Tom Shalhoub. And you'd love to teach him a lesson with your Smith & Wesson. It's our New York Times correspondent. How are you, Pinch?
Today, the Times' renowned critic A.O. Scott reviews the latest installment of the interminable Men in Black series. Haven't read it yet, but I believe the basic synopsis is that on July 4th, or Global Independence Day as it will come to be known, this Will Smith rogue saves the world from a rampaging horde of vampire aliens. But at what cost, as what seems to be the only human left on the planet is he, in Old Manhattan Town, no less. Oh, and Tommy Lee Jones is in it. Or maybe that's Kevin Kline. Does anyone have a playbill about this malarkey? Andy?
You done?
No, I've got some more to say about this.
No, you're done. No, I shouldn't have phrased it as a question. So did he just take when he wanted to toke? Well, according to a new book, Barack liked to bogart. Yet BuzzFeed.com snagged an early copy of the upcoming bio of Bam and published some awesome anecdotes about his alleged drug use during high school and college. Among them, quote, Barry also had a knack for interceptions. When a joint was making the rounds, he often elbowed his way in, out of turn, shouted intercepted, and took an extra hit. No one seemed to mind. Wait, so he was a fan of taking other people's stuff? Ah, thank God he grew out of that phase. Other junk, Obama was part of a group of boys at a school in Hawaii who called themselves the Choom Gang. Choom is a verb meaning to smoke weed, Tom. And the future prez was known for starting pot-smoking trends like TA, which is short for total absorption. So did Obama love drugs as much as these two love each other?
Not really sure.
That was disgusting, and I'm sorry you had to see it. Tom, speaking of disgusting, were you as disgusted as I was to learn that Obama would bogart weed? Not cool, bro.
Well, we already knew he smoked weed, right?
Yeah.
He wrote about it in his book.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the revelation is. I hope that people on the right aren't thinking they're going to be able to use this against him, because I think it's one more thing that makes him look cool. Everything he does, he looks cooler.
Intercepting weed is cool?
Well, maybe the intercepting
Well,
part,
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay, well.
The only reason he intercepted is because Tim Tebow threw it. Having fun.
So that's
just having fun.
Wait a minute. So that's the problem that people are supposed to have with Obama now, that he kind of intercepted the weed?
Tom, it's a huge problem, and Greg, I'm guessing that Greg will explain why Obama bogarting joints reveals a lot about him today.
Well, originally I was going to say, when you look at the name of the gang, which is Choom, it's Mooch spelled backwards.
Nice.
Oh.
But it isn't, because the H and the C.
Yeah.
So there went my talking point.
No, when you reverse a word, Greg,
But if you're high enough, it is.
It's an
CH or an SH counts.
It's an anagram.
Yeah, it's well, no, actually, the sound stays the same. But anyway, he did put the pot in POTUS. I can use that. Here's the thing. The background of our world leaders are now actually inching closer to our own. That's what's interesting about this. Because when you hear that anecdote, you go, gosh, I did the same thing. I don't think you could ever have said that about any of the previous presidents. I used to hang around and get high. The only thing is, can you learn something from this? Do you learn something about his personality from this? And the only thing I can think of is that everything's cool. No matter what he did. It's like he said, it's like, no big deal. I didn't pay for that. I'm going to take it. Spread the wealth around, spread the pot around. He's a socialist who should be impeached. Thought I'd throw that in there because we're in Hannity studio.
Well, you killed my last question, TJ. But anyway, Nikki, in his yearbook, Obama apparently thanked his drug dealer, but not his mom. That's actually kind of funny.
No one thanks their mom in their
Right,
yearbook
right.
anyway. Of course, you're gonna thank your drug dealer. I love this. I smoke pot. I've done it since pretty early, since 8th grade. Well, it was my second year of 8th grade.
Inspirational.
You're from the Midwest, aren't you?
Yeah. And thank you.
Nice
Are
job,
you?
nice job stepping on her punchline.
Thanks. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
I like the name Choom. You gotta have a code word for it. That's essential. We called it sweaters, which was stupid because my friends didn't even use it right. They'd be like, in front of my mom, like, hey, you wanna go smoke some sweat? To try harder than that. Person.
The smoke, that would have tipped me off as a parent.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Should change the verb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we go knit sweaters in the car for 15 minutes in the summer in St. Louis in August. It's
Which also makes your eyes red.
Yes.
Yeah, and she'd be like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Kirsten just knitted the most beautiful sweater."
And now we're going to eat.
Bill,
Six bowls of Lucky Charms.
isn't the lesson here, Bill, that stoners can grow up to be president, but cokeheads like you will always be ostracized?
What part of Dreams of My Father did you not read?
All of it.
Cokeheads can absolutely become presidents, too. You can do one and the other, Andy. Open your non-drug-taking mind. I omit the word non on that.
All right.
This is interesting for me because Obama has apparently evolved as far as gay marriage is concerned, but
Right.
devolved when it comes to all things marijuana.
Yeah.
Having said that, when it comes to examining someone's past, I will take a dude that bogarts some joints over physically assaulting a gay kid any day of the week.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't either. I'm just saying, if people do that, I frown on you.
All right. Tom, to get to the only decent point that Bill made there, the problem here is the hypocrisy. Obama used to smoke pot. Apparently, he used to smoke pot a lot. I don't care. That's fine with me. Now he uses his Justice Department to raid medical marijuana shops.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's doing that. He
Yeah.
should kind of lay off on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
Bold statement.
Yes. No, it's the point that Penn Jillette was making
Exactly,
earlier,
yeah.
which is like if Obama, as a youth, lived by Obama's rules now, he would never be president. He would be in jail.
Right.
Right.
That's what you should have said.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, he already put it so eloquently.
He did, really.
But Nikki, doesn't this also show that it's, you can go ahead and smoke pot, especially when you're younger, and it doesn't matter. You'll still become president.
Yes.
It's okay.
It does show that. It's great.
Say no.
I could be president.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
you're a woman.
Yeah.
Nikki, don't
Sorry,
go that
guys.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Although he
I
stopped,
forgot
pace
about my
ourselves.
vagina.
he stopped at some point. He doesn't smoke pot now.
Well, doesn't he?
I mean, I don't think at some
way.
point you have to stop, Nikki,
Yes,
and say,
yes, you
"Oh,
do.
that's all in my past."
I don't. I'm not.
When you run for
You're not
president.
running for
Right. When
Yeah.
I do, I will.
Stop when
I'll
you're
cut
running from the
back.
cops. Don't keep doing that.
That runner's high kicks in.
Yeah, those are different endorphins. But you run into a wall.
All right. Did that peter out?
Yes.
Okay. Good. From stealing weed to stealing music. Well, they asked for a buttload for every download. So last year, the Recording Industry Association of America settled with file sharing program LimeWire for $105 million.